Welcome to Golden Hand Creation. I am very happy to welcome you to another beautiful hand embroidery tutorial. In today's video, I'm sharing a special and traditional embroidery design made with love, patience, creativity, and many beautiful hand stitches. This dress is especially meaningful to me because my mother made this beautiful dress by hand. Every stitch on this dress represents her hard work, creativity, and experience. Hand embroidery is not simply decorating fabric. It is an art that requires patience, concentration, practice, and a lot of love. In this tutorial, you will see how a simple fabric can be transformed into a beautiful traditional dress with colorful embroidery. The main fabric of this dress is a beautiful red color, and the embroidery combines bright shades of green, yellow, blue, and other decorative details. The colorful embroidery stands out beautifully against the red fabric and gives the dress a traditional and attractive appearance. If you enjoy hand embroidery, sewing, traditional dress designs, handmade fashion, and easy embroidery ideas, then this video is for you. Before we begin, please support Golden Hand Creation by subscribing to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you can receive new embroidery and handmade dress tutorials. And if you like this design, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family who love hand embroidery. Now let's begin our beautiful embroidery journey. About the dress. Let's first take a closer look at the finished dress. The dress has a beautiful red base, which creates a warm and vibrant background for the embroidery. The embroidery is designed around the neckline and continues down the front of the dress. Decorative borders are also added to the sleeves and other sections of the dress. One of the most beautiful features of this design is the combination of different stitches. Instead of using only one stitch throughout the design, several simple hand embroidery techniques are brought together to create a detailed and attractive pattern. The design includes small floral and leaf-like motifs, decorative lines, cross-style stitches, borders, and colorful details. Small decorative elements are placed carefully to create balance and symmetry. The neckline is one of the main highlights of the dress. It has several layers of embroidery surrounding the neck. These layers create a beautiful frame and make the neckline look rich without making the design unnecessarily complicated. The front opening also has decorative embroidery. Long embroidered sections extend downward from the neckline, creating a beautiful vertical design. This makes the front of the dress look longer and more elegant. The sleeves have matching embroidery, which helps connect the complete design. Matching embroidery on different parts of a dress is a wonderful way to create a coordinated traditional look. My mother worked patiently on this dress, making sure that the stitches were neat and that the colors worked beautifully together. This is what makes handmade embroidery special. A machine can reproduce a design quickly, but hand embroidery carries the touch of the person who made it. Materials used. Before beginning any embroidery project, it is important to prepare all the materials. For this design, we need fabric, embroidery thread, a suitable embroidery needle, scissors, and any additional decorative materials required for the design. The main fabric used in this dress is red. The embroidery thread includes bright green and other contrasting colors. Green is especially noticeable in the border work, while yellow and blue details add brightness to the floral motifs. You can choose different colors according to your own fabric. For example, if your fabric is black, you can use red, gold, green, or pink embroidery thread. If your fabric is white, you can use almost any bright color. The important thing is to create enough contrast between the fabric and the embroidery thread so that the stitches can be seen clearly. You should also choose a good quality embroidery needle. The needle should be comfortable in your hand and suitable for the thickness of your thread and fabric. Keep your scissors sharp so you can cut the thread cleanly. A clean cut helps prevent the thread from becoming tangled. If you are transferring a design onto fabric, you can also use a washable fabric marker, tracing method, or another suitable marking technique. Remember that the quality of your materials can make embroidery easier and more enjoyable. The first step is preparing the fabric. Before starting the embroidery, make sure that your fabric is clean, smooth, and properly arranged. Iron the fabric if necessary. Wrinkles can make embroidery difficult because the design may not remain straight. When working on a neckline, sleeves, or front panel, accuracy is very important. Measure the area carefully. If the design needs to be repeated on both sides of the neckline, try to keep both sides as symmetrical as possible. Symmetry gives the finished dress a professional appearance. However, Remember that handmade work does not have to be perfectly identical to machine embroidery. Small differences are part of the beauty of handmade crafts. The most important thing is that your overall design looks balanced and neat. Once the fabric is prepared, we can begin working on the embroidery. Starting the embroidery. Now we come to the most exciting part. Take your embroidery thread and thread the needle. Do not use an unnecessarily long piece of thread because a very long thread can become tangled while stitching. A manageable length makes embroidery easier. Bring the needle through the fabric from the back. Secure the thread carefully so that it does not come loose. Now follow the mark design. The first stitches create the basic structure of embroidery. Take your time. Do not rush. Hand embroidery is an art of patience. If you are a beginner, practice the stitch on a small piece of fabric before working directly on your dress. This will help you understand the tension of the thread and the movement of the needle. The thread should not be pulled so tightly that the fabric becomes gathered. At the same time, it should not be left so loose that the stitches look messy. Try to maintain even tension. This is one of the most important secrets of beautiful embroidery. The cross-style stitch. One of the recognizable decorative stitches in this design is the cross-style stitch. A cross stitch is made by creating two diagonal stitches that cross each other. The first stitch goes diagonally in one direction. Then the second stitch crosses over it in the opposite direction. Together, these two stitches form an X shape. Cross stitches can be used individually or arranged in rows. They can also be used to decorate borders, flowers, geometric patterns, and neckline designs. The cross stitch is simple to learn, which makes it suitable for beginners. The key is to keep all the crosses facing the same direction and maintain similar size. When the crosses are arranged evenly, the result looks very neat. On this dress, the decorative cross-style work adds texture to the border and makes the embroidery more interesting. You can experiment with the size of your crosses. Small crosses create delicate embroidery. Larger crosses create a stronger traditional appearance. Choose the size according to the fabric and the overall design. Creating the border. Now let's focus on the border. Borders are extremely important in traditional hand embroidery because they frame the design. A good border can make even a simple dress look beautifully finished. In this dress, the border uses contrasting thread to create a decorative edge. The green embroidery is particularly beautiful against the red fabric. Begin by following the prepared line carefully. Make each stitch with approximately the same spacing. If you are working on a curved area, such as the neckline, make sure that your stitches follow the curve naturally. Do not force straight stitches around a curve. Instead, adjust the length and direction of your stitches according to the shape. This will help the border look smooth. The border can be repeated around the neckline, sleeves, and other parts of the dress. Matching borders throughout the dress create unity. The neckline design. Now we reach the most important part of the dress, the neckline. The neckline contains several layers of embroidery. This layered approach gives the design depth. Start from the outer edge. Work slowly around the neckline. Keep checking both sides to make sure the embroidery remains balanced. After completing the first line, move toward the next decorative section. The inner neckline can be surrounded by small stitches and patterns. These details make the neck look more elegant. One important tip is to avoid overcrowding the design. Leave enough space between different embroidered sections. Negative space allows each motif to remain visible. The goal is not simply to add as many stitches as possible. The goal is to create a beautiful composition. My mother has combined the colors carefully so that the neckline looks colorful but still balanced. The red fabric provides the background. Green creates strong borders. Yellow and blue details add brightness. Small decorative motifs provide additional texture. Together, these colors create a traditional handmade appearance. Working down the front. From the neckline, the embroidery continues down the front. This vertical embroidery is one of the most eye-catching parts of the dress. A vertical design can visually elongate the dress and create an elegant appearance. When working on the front panel, keep the design centered. You can mark a central line first. Then build the embroidery equally on both sides. This makes the front design look organized. The long embroidered section can include repeated motifs. Repeated motifs are useful because once you learn one small motif, you can reproduce it several times. This saves time and creates consistency. As you continue, check the distance between each motif. Try not to place one motif too close to another. Consistent spacing makes the embroidery look professional. Small floral motifs. Now let's look at the small floral details. Floral embroidery is one of the most popular forms of traditional hand embroidery. Small flowers can be made using simple stitches. They do not need to be complicated. Even a few stitches arranged carefully can create the impression of a flower. In this dress, small colorful motifs are arranged along the embroidered sections. These little flowers make the design lively. Yellow details are especially effective because yellow contrasts beautifully with red. Blue accents add another layer of color. Green connects the floral details with the borders. When choosing colors for your own project, remember the color wheel. Contrasting colors can make embroidery stand out. Similar colors create a softer appearance. You can also use metallic thread if you want a more festive look. For everyday clothing, bright cotton or silk embroidery thread can be very beautiful, making the decorative details. After completing the basic lines, we can add the decorative details. These small details often make the biggest difference. A plain embroidered line can look simple, but when small flowers, leaves, crosses, dots, or loops are added around it, the entire design becomes richer. This is why patience is so important. You may spend a lot of time creating small details that seem insignificant individually, but when the dress is finished, all of those tiny details come together to create a beautiful overall design. Take your time with every stitch. Try to keep your thread tension consistent. Do not worry if you're not perfect at first. Embroidery improves with practice. Every new project teaches you something. Embroidery on the sleeves. Now let's move to the sleeves. The sleeves have matching decorative embroidery. When designing sleeves, it is important to consider how they will look when the dress is being worn. A sleeve border should complement the neckline rather than compete with it. The design shown here uses colorful embroidery along the sleeve edge. This creates a beautiful connection between the sleeve and the main body of the dress. When making two sleeves, try to keep the embroidery similar. You can create one sleeve first and then use it as a reference for the second sleeve. This is easier than trying to remember every stitch. Place the fabric flat while marking the design. Make sure the two sleeve pieces are positioned correctly. If the sleeves are already stitched into the dress, work carefully so that you do not accidentally catch unwanted layers of fabric. Keeping the stitches neat. Neatness is one of the most important qualities of good embroidery. Even a simple design can look beautiful when the stitches are neat. And even a complicated design can look untidy when the stitches are uneven. There are several things you can do to improve neatness. First, keep your thread tension consistent. Second, keep your stitch size similar. Third, follow your marked design. Fourth, avoid pulling the thread too hard. Fifth, check the back of your fabric occasionally. The back does not need to be perfect, but it should not have excessive knots or tangled thread. If you make a mistake, do not panic. Carefully remove the incorrect stitches and try again. It is better to correct a small mistake than to continue and allow it to become part of a larger problem. Choosing the right thread. Thread selection can change the appearance of an embroidery design. For this dress, bright colors are used to create contrast. Green thread looks beautiful against the red fabric. Yellow creates small bright highlights. Blue provides another contrasting color. You can recreate the design with the same color combination or create your own variation. For example, red fabric with golden and green thread can create a festive look. Black fabric with bright pink and silver can create a modern appearance. White fabric with pastel colors can create a delicate look. There are many possibilities. Do not be afraid to experiment. Traditional embroidery gives us the freedom to combine old techniques with new color combinations. The beauty of handmade work. There is something very special about handmade clothing. When a person makes a dress by hand, every stitch takes time. The maker has to sit patiently, hold the fabric, guide the needle, manage the thread, and repeat the process hundreds or thousands of times. That effort gives the finished dress emotional value. This dress is especially special because my mother made it. I want to appreciate her hard work and creativity. A handmade dress made by a mother carries a different kind of beauty. It reminds us of traditional skills passed from one generation to another. Many embroidery techniques are learned by watching mothers, grandmothers, sisters, and other family members. These skills are part of our craft traditions. By sharing them online, we can help keep these beautiful techniques alive. If you want a heavier design, you can add more motifs. However, if you prefer a simple dress, you can reduce the number of motifs. The design can easily be customized. For a daily wear dress, use fewer decorative elements. For a festive or wedding dress, you can increase the embroidery and add beads, sequins, mirrors, or metallic thread. The basic embroidery structure can remain the same. This is what makes this type of design so useful. It can be adapted according to your taste. Avoiding common mistakes. Beginners often make a few common mistakes. One common mistake is using too much thread. Another is pulling the thread too tightly. Another is making stitches different sizes. Some beginners also try to finish too quickly. Remember that embroidery is not a race. Take breaks if your hands become tired. Good lighting is also important. Work in a comfortable position. Keep your materials organized. If you are working with several colors, keep the threads separate. This prevents tangling. Also make sure your needle is sharp enough to pass through the fabric easily. Finishing the embroidery. Once all the embroidery is complete, inspect the dress carefully. Look at the front. Check the neckline. Check the sleeves. Check the borders. Look for loose threads. If you find any loose thread, secure it carefully from the back. Trim unnecessary thread ends with sharp scissors. Do not cut too close to the fabric. Be careful not to accidentally cut the embroidered stitches. After finishing, gently press the dress if necessary. Use the appropriate temperature for your fabric. If the embroidery contains delicate decorative elements, place a thin cloth over the embroidered area before pressing. This protects the embroidery. Final look. Now look at the finished dress. The red fabric has been transformed with beautiful, colorful hand embroidery. The neckline is decorated with multiple layers of traditional stitching. The front panel has a beautiful vertical embroidered arrangement. The borders add a finished appearance. The colorful floral details bring the whole design together. The sleeves complement the main design. The result is a traditional, elegant handmade dress. And the most important thing is that this beautiful dress was made by my mother. Her patience and creativity are visible in every part of the design. A message for beginners. If you are watching this tutorial and thinking that you cannot do embroidery, I want to encourage you to try. Do not be afraid of making mistakes. Every expert was once a beginner. Start with a small piece of fabric. Learn one stitch. Practice it several times. Then learn another stitch. Slowly, you will begin combining them. You do not need expensive materials. A needle, thread, fabric, and patience can be enough to begin. Hand embroidery can become a wonderful creative hobby. It can also become a useful skill. You can decorate your own clothes. You can make gifts for family members. You can customize children's clothing. You can create decorative pieces for your home. With enough practice, you may even be able to turn your embroidery skills into a small business. Appreciation for mothers. I would also like to dedicate this video to all mothers who spend their time creating beautiful things for their families. Mothers often have many responsibilities, yet they still find time to sew, embroider, cook, decorate, teach, and care for everyone around them. When a mother makes something by hand, it is often more than just an object. It is an expression of love. This dress is a beautiful example. My mother put her time and effort into making this design. I am proud to share her work with you through Golden Hand Creation. I hope her embroidery inspires other mothers, daughters, sisters, and beginners to continue learning traditional crafts. Supporting handmade artists. If you know someone who enjoys embroidery, sewing, crochet, knitting, or other handmade crafts, encourage them. A simple compliment can motivate a person to continue. A small amount of support can help handmade artists grow. If you are an embroidery artist yourself, do not underestimate your talent. Your skills are valuable. Continue learning. Continue experimenting. Continue sharing your work. You never know who might be inspired by your design. More ideas for this design. The same embroidery idea can be used in many different ways. You can use the neckline design on a simple corda. You can make a matching sleeve border. You can use the small floral motifs around a pocket. You can create a matching dupatta border. You can also make a smaller version for children's dresses. Another idea is to use the design on a cushion cover. You can even create a decorative wall hanging using the same stitches. The possibilities are endless. Once you understand the basic stitches, you can create your own patterns. Creating your own design. You do not always need a printed embroidery pattern. You can draw simple flowers, leaves, waves, diamonds, zigzags, and borders yourself. Start with pencil and paper. Draw a small motif. Repeat it several times. Arrange the motifs into a border. Then transfer the design to fabric. This allows you to create something completely original. You can also take inspiration from traditional embroidery patterns and modify them. Change the flowers. Change the colors. Change the spacing. Add your own decorative elements. That is how a personal embroidery style develops. Importance of practice. Practice is the key to improvement. Your first embroidery project may not look perfect. That is completely normal. Your second project may be better. Your 10th project may be much better. Every stitch teaches your hand something. You learn how much tension to use. You learn how to control the needle. You learn how to create curves. You learn how to maintain spacing. You learn how different threads behave. Over time, these movements become natural. So if you are a beginner, please do not compare your first project with someone else's work after years of experience. Give yourself time. Enjoy the process. Color combination ideas. The red and green combination in this dress is very attractive, but you can try many other combinations. For a soft appearance, use pastel pink with light green. For a festive appearance, use red with gold. For a bold modern appearance, use black with bright pink. For a traditional appearance, use maroon with green and yellow. For a fresh summer look, use white with blue and green. For children's clothing, bright colors can make the embroidery playful. The most important thing is contrast and balance. If your fabric is dark, bright thread usually works well. If your fabric is light, darker embroidery can create a beautiful effect. Choosing the right thread. Thread selection can change the appearance of an embroidery design. For this dress, bright colors are used to create contrast. Green thread looks beautiful against the red fabric. Yellow creates small bright highlights. Blue provides another contrasting color. You can recreate the design with the same color combination or create your own variation. For example, red fabric with golden and green thread can create a festive look. Black fabric with bright pink and silver can create a modern appearance. White fabric with pastel colors can create a delicate look. There are many possibilities. Do not be afraid to experiment. Traditional embroidery gives us the freedom to combine old techniques with new color combinations. The beauty of handmade work. There is something very special about handmade clothing. When a person makes a dress by hand, every stitch takes time. The maker has to sit patiently, hold the fabric, guide the needle, manage the thread, and repeat the process hundreds or thousands of times. That effort gives the finished dress emotional value. This dress is especially special because my mother made it. I want to appreciate her hard work and creativity. A handmade dress made by a mother carries a different kind of beauty. It reminds us of traditional skills passed from one generation to another. Many embroidery techniques are learned by watching mothers, grandmothers, sisters, and other family members. These skills are part of our craft traditions. By sharing them online, we can help keep these beautiful techniques alive. Taking care of embroidered dresses. Once you have completed your beautiful handmade dress, take care of it properly. Avoid rough washing. If the embroidery is delicate, gentle hand washing may be better than harsh machine washing. Do not scrub directly over the embroidered area. Avoid excessive twisting. After washing, dry the dress according to the fabric's requirements. When storing embroidered clothing, make sure the embroidery is not pressed against rough surfaces. Fold the dress carefully. If the embroidery contains delicate decorations, use tissue or a soft cloth between folds. Proper care will help your handmade work remain beautiful for a long time. A reminder to subscribe. If you enjoyed watching this beautiful hand embroidery dress, please support Golden Hand Creation. Subscribe to the channel for more handmade dress designs, embroidery tutorials, traditional stitching ideas, and creative craft projects. Your subscription motivates us to create more videos. Please also like this video. Your likes help our channel reach more people who are interested in handmade crafts. And if you know someone who loves embroidery, please share this video with them. You can also leave a comment and tell us what kind of embroidery design you would like to see next. We would love to hear your ideas. Final presentation. Now let us appreciate the complete design once again. The beautiful red dress provides a strong background. The green borders frame the embroidery. The colorful floral motifs add life to the design. The cross-style stitches create texture. The neckline provides the main focal point. The front embroidery creates a beautiful vertical effect. The sleeve embroidery completes the look. Everything comes together to create a traditional handmade design. And behind this design is my mother's hard work. This is why I wanted to share it with you. It is not only a dress. It is also an example of the beauty of handmade work and the skills that are passed from one generation to another. Before we end today's video, I would like to share a small Islamic reminder with you. Life is temporary, and everything we have in this world is a blessing from Allah. Our time, our family, our skills, and even the ability to create something beautiful are all gifts from Him. So, let us always remember Allah and be thankful for His blessings. Never underestimate the value of doing something with love and good intentions. Whether you are sewing, doing embroidery, taking care of your family, helping someone, or simply making another person happy, Allah knows the effort behind every good deed. Always respect your parents, especially your mother and father. A mother's love and sacrifices can never truly be repaid. Speak to them with kindness, make them happy, and remember them in your du'as. Let us also remember those mothers who are no longer with us. May Allah forgive them, have mercy upon them, and grant them the highest place in Jannah. Ameen. May Allah put barakah in our homes, protect our families, forgive our sins, accept our good deeds, and guide our hearts toward what is right. May Allah bless every mother with happiness, peace, good health, and a long life filled with His blessings. Ameen. And if your mother is with you today, please take a moment to tell her that you love her. Make a dua for her, and thank her for everything she has done for you. May Allah keep our parents under His mercy, and grant us the ability to serve them with love and respect. Keep supporting handmade work, keep learning beautiful skills, and most importantly, keep Allah in your heart. Allah Hafiz. See you in the next video, inshallah.